Hello and good evening. You're watching AWANI Tonight with me, Hafiz Marzukhi. The implementation of the festival season maximum price scheme has kept prices of goods under control ahead of Hari Raya Aidilfitri celebrations. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim assures that there is also no shortage of food supplies during this period.
Saya dalam kerajaan jadi menteri sejak 80-an. Tahun 90-an saya pengusikan dan kuasa kabinet kawalan harga menjelang hari kebesaran, Hari Raya Cina. Tahun ini terima kasih kepada KPDN, kepada Kementerian Pertanian dan syarikat seperti Maidin kerana ini pertama kali saya dalam sejarah yang saya ingat sebelum atau menjelang Eid hari kebesaran harga itu terkawal. Dia tidak ada kekurangan harga, kekurangan barang dan dia dapat memastikan harga itu turun. Terutama kita lihat macam telur dan banyak barang lagi.
The Prime Minister spent time checking the prices and quantities of goods in Maidin Hypermarket at USJ Subang as part of officiating the price reduction campaign by placing the Malaysia Madani logo on the premises. The Finance Ministry has allocated 1.9 billion to Prasarana Malaysia Berhad to purchase 1,660 new diesel and electric buses in phases over the next 3 years. Second Finance Minister Datuk Seri Amir Hamzah Azizan says 310 diesel engine buses will be delivered from June this year, while the delivery of 250 EV buses will begin by year end. Another 1,000 EV buses will be added in phases. Beyond increasing public transport assets, Amir Hamzah said new bus routes will also be introduced. Additionally, the government, he said, has also allocated another 55 million ringgit for the additional purchase of 320 vans expected to operate in 101 zones by June this year. Meanwhile, Transport Minister Anthony Loke announced a phased rollout of an open payment system for DRT van services. All 20 vans operating in the zone involved will be equipped with scanners accepting debit and credit cards. The government will announce the mechanism for rationalising the RON 95 fuel subsidy using MyKad in the second half of the year, says Datuk Seri Amir Hamzah Azizan. The second Finance Minister assures that the mechanism is still being refined to ensure a robust system.
He explained that a two-tier pricing system will be implemented for RON 95 with both subsidised and non-subsidised prices. More than 85% Malaysians is expected to benefit from the subsidised rate. On the use of MyKad, he cited the Sumbangan Asas Ramah Sara program as an example of a successful targeted subsidy system. Currently, 700,000 recipients use their MyKad to purchase essential goods at 3,500 retail stores and supermarkets. And starting next week, this number will increase to 5.4 million. Amir Hamzah suggested that a similar mechanism could be used to implement targeted RON 95 fuel subsidies, ensuring eligible Malaysians receive the benefits.
Online purchase fraud cases have risen 36.9% from 1st January to March 24th, with 2,328 cases causing losses over 19 million ringgit. Bukit Aman Commercial Crime Investigation Department, or CCID, Acting Director Datuk Rohaimi Mat Issa warns that with the festive season approaching, online shopping fraud cases will likely increase.
Compared with the same period last year, Rohaimi said only 1,700 cases were reported, resulting in losses amounting to 13.66 million ringgit. He urged consumers to stay vigilant, avoiding too good to be true deals and using secure e-commerce platforms. He also advised checking seller reviews, verifying account details via the Semak Mule portal and ensuring secure transactions before making any payments.
AirAsia has confirmed that there was no engine fire on flight AK128. The flight en route to Shenzhen, China, performed a safe air return to Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA Terminal 2, this morning, just 2 hours after takeoff.
According to AirAsia, inspection revealed a damaged duct releasing hot air, not an engine fire as initially reported. The aircraft is expected to return to service by March 31st. The flight carrier assured that their flight crew acted swiftly and took the appropriate actions following established safety and operational protocols. The aircraft landed without incident at KLIA Terminal 2 at 12:06 a.m. with all 171 guests and 6 crew members disembarked and guests transferred to another aircraft.
Malaysia is taking the lead in regional climate action with the launch of Kuala Lumpur Sustainability Summit 2025 under the country's ASEAN Chairmanship. Natural Resources and Environmental Sustainability Minister Nik Nazmi Nik Ahmad says the summit is not just a conference but a call to action.
The summit aims to drive ASEAN-wide collaboration and shape policies that will define the region's sustainability future. The event will culminate in the Kuala Lumpur Declaration on Climate Resilience, a landmark framework for ASEAN's collective response to climate challenges. Transboundary haze is expected to be a major environmental concern in the region. Running alongside, IGEM 2025 will showcase green tech solutions, bridging policy discussions with real-world implementation.
We'll go for a short break. Stay with us.
Kerap menggaruk kulit kepala disebabkan kelumur, masalahnya lebih mendalam. Gunalah Head and Shoulders menembusi 5 lapisan untuk membasmi kelumur dan kegatalan. Bebas kelumur sehingga 100%. Head and Shoulders diuji secara dermatologi.
Bulan-bulan Ramadan ni, banyak pula ada problem. Tapi itulah, dugaan-dugaan ni semua kan ujian daripada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala kan. Lah, bocor.
Ya, wifi mati dah pula.
Tapi elok juga kan, bang? Dapatlah kita duduk sama-sama macam ni, makan sama-sama.
Di dalam setiap berita yang dibawa, konteks amat penting. Kami sentiasa membawakan yang tergempar dan terkini. Pastikan Astro AWANI menjadi pilihan anda, tidak kira di mana sahaja anda berada.
Daulat Tuanku.
Welcome back. US President Donald Trump has announced plans to impose 25% tariffs on all imported automobiles, with the measures set to take effect on April 2nd. He made the statement while signing an executive proclamation in the White House Oval Office. Trump declared the tariffs to be permanent, saying that vehicles manufactured in the United States would be exempt. The proclamation specifies that the 25% tariffs will be applied to imported vehicles starting on April 3rd. Imported auto parts will also be subject to the new tariffs, with implementation no later than May 3rd. White House Principal Deputy Press Secretary Harrison Fields confirmed the 25% tariffs are applied to imported passenger vehicles like trucks and key auto components, including engines, transmissions, powertrain parts, and electrical components. If deemed necessary, tariffs on additional components may be imposed, he added. Fields also noted the auto parts that comply with the US-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or USMCA, will remain exempt from the tariffs pending consultations between the Secretary of Commerce and the US Customs and Border Protection. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney on Wednesday said his government will be looking at its options for possible retaliation against the US auto tariffs. The Liberal leader on his election campaign tour said the tariffs are a direct attack against Canadian workers regardless of how they are applied, according to CBC News, Canada's national public news and information service. Previously, Carney announced a strategic response fund, which is valued at 2 billion Canadian dollars to bolster the country's auto industry. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says he aims to inflict as much pain as possible on American citizens as the US and Canada engage in a trade dispute over tariffs. US automakers and their global rivals were rocked on Wednesday by US President Donald Trump's announcement that he would impose 25% tariffs on all vehicles and foreign-made auto parts imported into the United States.
I do not want to hurt other provinces on that, but I can assure you one thing, we're going to make sure that we inflict as much pain as possible to the American people without inflicting pain on the Canadian population. And that's the reason we've done 2 rounds of 30 billion and 30 billion. And the last 65 billion, it will hurt. I'll be very, very frank, but I've talked to a tremendous amount of people going to events, and I'm very transparent by saying we have 2 options here. We either roll over as a country, and he runs us over 15 times and gets what he wants, or we feel a little bit of pain, and we fight like we've never fought before.
The new levies, if capped for an extended period, could add thousands of dollars to the cost of an average US vehicle purchase and impede car production across North America. That will be because of the intertwined manufacturing operations developed by car makers across Canada, Mexico, and the United States over the last 3 decades. Nearly half of all cars sold in the US last year were imported, research firm Global Data says. South Korea and Japan markets drifted lower on Thursday as US President Donald Trump's new auto tariffs weighed on automakers. Auto industry experts expect the move will drive up prices and disrupt production.
Japan's heavyweight automakers slumped as concerns over the potential impact of the auto tariff dampened sentiment. Shares in Toyota Motor lost 2.04% and Honda Motor fell 2.48%. While Nissan Motor slipped 1.68%. Meanwhile, South Korean stocks declined 1.4%, dragged lower by sharp losses in Hyundai Motor and Kia Corp.
Brazil President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva says US President Donald Trump risks damaging the US economy with additional tariffs. Not only that, he also vowed to lodge a complaint with the World Trade Organization, or WTO, over a trade levy on Brazilian steel.
At a press conference in Tokyo, Lula said the move would raise the prices of goods and could lead to inflation that Trump has yet to realize. Trump on Wednesday, March 26, unveiled a 25% tariff on imported cars and light trucks, starting next week, widening the global trade war he began after becoming president in January. On March 12, his administration also imposed a 25% tariff on all steel and aluminium from Brazil, the second largest exporter to the American market after Canada. The Brazilian government has so far failed to renegotiate a return to a policy of annual tariff-free export quotas. Lula also said he will work to secure a Mercosur agreement, a South American trade bloc that includes countries such as Brazil and Argentina, with Japan.
That wraps up AWANI Tonight. Check out our web portal, keeping you informed on the critical events shaping our world, all in one place at international.astroawani.com. That's all for now. I'm Hafiz Marzukhi. Thanks for watching and good night.